What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. It is Justin here, December 15th. It is a Tuesday, and we are taking a live look at Week 15 NFL, mostly focusing on Thursday slate for today. And then tomorrow comes around, we'll start moving on to Sunday, but we got to look at what is in the near future, and that is Thursday. So first in this video, I want to do a quick shout out to betangles.com and just let you guys know that the information they have over there is 100% free, and it is some of the best information you'll find across the board. And as I mentioned, as of now, it is free. So this is betangles.com. Reason why I like it is because it's extremely easy to navigate your way through the actual site. And they have tons of different tools. Prop analyzers, fantasy ranks are going to be ceilings and floors for every single position. Best return on investment value for each position. Ball distribution for each position. The amount of information that you get for free is absolutely crazy to why, as of right now, or why you would be paying for the $45 a month for stuff that just seems crazy, or $60 even I've seen, when you can get this stuff free right through their site. So moving on, there is other sites that I do use. I don't just use betangles.com. I use BetAngles. I also use Pro Football Reference just for more so team stats and stuff like that, not necessarily on the fantasy side. It's important to know everything about the teams if you want to know how to approach the certain matchups. With that being said, the most important thing when coming down to tournaments is picking matchups. So for those that don't know, this is what my screen looks like on a Tuesday. These are all tournaments that I got to draft. So they're 20 entry max tournaments. I've had a lot of success doing this, and I continue to do it for that reason. Is I find these contests, and you got to max them out. You can't put 5 entries into a 20 entry max. That gives me 15 more chances over you. So if you want to see success, find these $3 entry tournaments that are 20 entry max and max enter them. It can be hard for 150 entry max tournaments, and that's why if you do decide to do that, or if you can't do that, that's fine. That's completely understandable. It's a larger bankroll than a lot of people have. So these 20 entries are a perfect tournament for it. So we got to first look at the matchup, which I use through Action Network. I look at the matchup this way. And I first want to look at the spread. It looks like the Raiders are favored here. Don't necessarily agree with that, but I can dive into that a little bit more. And then we're going to look at the total here. Total is at 55, so a pretty high total. That's for sure. Let's take a peek at this and see. So at 55 with 3.5, that's decently scored. Now we got to look at how these offenses are approaching these games. Are they run heavy, pass heavy? Do they allow a ton on the pass? Do they allow a ton on the run? Where do these teams stand? And that's what helped me with the game yesterday, was looking at that angle, because I was able to predict this being a very run-heavy game between a mobile quarterback or quarterbacks. Even Baker was running a little bit around there, ran for a touchdown as well. And then the run game between Nick Chubb, Dobbins, and we did miss on Edwards. Didn't really play him a ton. Probably should have played him a little bit more. But let's look at team stats for now. So this is team defense here. This is Pro Football Reference. If you want to get into their actual stats other than their defensive stats, you can hop into the seasons, go to team stats and standings. And you're going to go over here. You're going to go to team offense. It'll bring it right down to the page. We're going to highlight the two teams we're looking at. So we're looking at the Las Vegas Raiders, and then we're also looking at the Chargers. So now I know where to look at. So we're going to go first. We're going to go to passing. We're going to go to yards. I want to see who's allowing more yards, or who's putting up more yards. Sorry. So the Chargers, which I have here, I run 4 squares. I'll show you quick information on what my 4 squares look like. So 4 squares up top there for offense and passing, and then rushing is down below. So for passing yards 4, I have the Chargers are 4th at 3,515, which this information came directly from this site. And then the Raiders are 14th with 3,268. Now we're going to go on to, and I want to look at the passing touchdowns, see how many passing touchdowns they allowed. So the Chargers put up 25, and the Raiders put up 24. So that tells me possibly they're looking in the red zone more often, the Raiders are, than the Chargers, due to the fact that they were 14th in the yards, but they're 1 touchdown behind the Chargers for passing. So that's where it wants me to look at ball distribution, which I get all that stuff from BetAngles, and we'll go there on who is seeing the targets and if there's a way or reason why. Now we see this here, so we're going to go to rushing. I want to know who's putting up more rushing yards. The Raiders are actually putting up more rushing yards here. They're 12th at 1,533, which I have. And then the Chargers are 16th at 1,464. And it looks like for rushing TDs, it looks like that the Raiders are 15th, while the Chargers are all the way down at 29th at 8. So that makes me worry about possibly playing an Eckler because maybe they're not running it. They're getting it down the field possibly, but they're relying on Herbert in the red zone to finish off drives. With 8 touchdowns, that's not enough for me to be Eckler heavy in my lineups, or at least run him in a captain spot. I probably won't be doing that, but some more information could change that on the defensive side, so let's go take a peek. So if we want to go to defense, it's super easy. Again, I like sites that are easy to navigate. So right here, we're in team offense. We want to go to defensive stats. So you're going to go to defensive stats, team defense, boom. Brings you right up to the page that you need. Now we're going to look at this and we're going to go, okay, I need my 2 teams. So there's the Chargers and where my Raiders at. Where are the Raiders at? Let's see, right there, 30. So now we're going to organize it. So we're going to go passing yards. Who allows more passing yards? Well, the Raiders do. The Raiders allow 3,329 passing yards. So this seems like a smash spot possible for a Keenan Allen or a Justin Herbert mix. And the Chargers are 26 at 2,822. So that's interesting to see. Now I want to see touchdowns. Who's allowing more passing touchdowns? Well, this is where it flips. The Chargers are allowing more passing touchdowns at 26 compared to the Raiders 22. So where I see the Raiders in passing TDs for is 24, okay? And the Chargers have allowed 26. This seems like a smash spot for a big tight end, and we all know a big tight end on the Raiders, and that would be Waller. I'm counting Waller as almost a wide receiver at this point because he's probably, last time I checked, I'm sure he still is, he was the highest targeted receiver on the Raiders offense. So now we got one more thing to look at, and that's rushing defense. The Raiders allow more at 1,665 rushing yards. Chargers close in 12th at 1,560. And who allows more rushing TDs? The Raiders allow a ton. So it's flip-flopped on a lot of stats. Raiders are second at 21, while the Chargers are 13th. But we saw that the Chargers do not rush for TDs often. They're 8th in rushing, but the Raiders allow a ton of rushing TDs. So do we possibly do a stack in the fact of maybe we put Eckler in a few lineups and see if he smashes out and gets a few touchdowns? Obviously I'm going to have Eckler in lineups, but do I put him in a captain spot? I don't know. Probably not. I want to probably put their higher targeted guys, and I don't believe that their guys are targeted a ton. So in order to look at the targets, I want to go to BetAngles, obviously, and I'm going to look at ball distribution across the teams. So we're going to go here, and I want to go Las Vegas, Derek Carr. They don't run. 3%. Extremely low, actually. Very, very low. And then 13, 14, 8, and Waller at 26% for tight end. So Waller looks like to be in a captain spot for me. So I want to put Waller down as a captain. Perfect. And if I'm going to do Waller, I'm going to do Derek Carr. So with that being said, I want to put Carr in a captain spot. But do I run some with Josh Jacobs in a captain spot? And that's where it opens up some possibilities, as maybe I do. I don't necessarily love putting wide receivers in captain spots, but if they have 2 touchdown games, then it's perfect if they're not a run-heavy team, and I don't believe these teams are. So now let's take a peek at the Chargers, who are actually at the bottom of this page. Eckler 15%. Looks at Keenan Allen 25%. So Allen is seeing a ton of targets. That's a must for me. Keenan Allen, boom. I'm going to want him in a captain spot just for ball distribution purposes. He's seeing double on pretty much everybody on the offense. So that's a good spot. And then Herbert, obviously, to throw to him. I get a lot of questions. Why run a wide receiver in a captain spot? Well, there's a few reasons. Is if they go for 2 touchdowns, great. If they don't, yeah, that's going to be a tough spot for you that night. But they're a lot cheaper than your QB. So if you look at this, for instance, captain spot on DraftKings, your team, your price tags are 1.5 times in value. Your points are 1.5 times the value as well. But the price tag is the most important thing. So if you look at Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, there's a $1,200 difference between the two to put him in a captain spot. Herbert's probably the better option in the Allen spot, but if I put Allen in there, I could probably use that $1,200 elsewhere. Again, so say I run Keenan Allen in a captain spot, awesome, and then I run Herbert, who now drops to 11.8 for price. Now, who do I run with in these other spots? Do I put a Henry Ruggs in there or a Hunter Renfrow in there? Yeah, probably I'll run him. Can I fit a Josh Jacobs in this lineup? It's gonna be tight. 4,000. So now I'm looking and I'm like, okay. Justin Jackson, yeah. Do I play him activated from injured reserve? What's his ceiling? What's his floors? This is stuff you want to look at. So just to create a quick lineup here, let's just say I play him for $2,000, leaves me at $6,100. I could not play a ton, but I have enough to play like a Hunter Henry on the Chargers, who could have a big game. You see a lot of these guys questionable right now. I'm expecting that to go away. They were not activated or not active in today's practice or didn't participate, but they're more than likely taking a day off and just resting their bodies and doing health stuff that they got to do. So we'll obviously keep an eye on it, but I assume a lot of these guys that are questionable will be playing. This is just a 5-second lineup. Again, it's not anything that I would necessarily do for myself right now, but it could be a possible outcome. Maybe I run multiple different captains this week instead of doing all lineups with Keenan Allen. Maybe I try a lineup with a Keenan Allen in the captain spot, Herbert in the captain spot, Derek Carr in the captain spot, Waller in a captain spot, and then maybe I put an Eckler in a captain spot and a Josh Jacobs in a captain spot. There's tons of different captains, obviously, but if you max enter these contests, you have 20 different chances in a lineup to win. And I think that's the most important, is increasing your chances as you're already behind the ball. So that is something I look forward to. The last thing I want to point out on Bet Angles, and I really like using it, is ceilings and floors for each position. It's awesome to see. So Justin Herbert, as you can see, is 19 average with a 10 floor, 29 ceiling, 9.5%. With a Derek Carr at 16, 7 floor, 25 ceiling. So Herbert has a higher ceiling and a higher floor, possibly a better option. But again, and then you could do the same for running backs, wide receivers, all of it's the same. It says undefined right now. I'm sure it's a bug, they'll fix it. But let's go back to QBs, and let's say sites, or my computer might be acting up as well. But anyways, I think that the point is like, if you can look at these stats and then you go over them and you go on to betangles.com and all this stuff's free, and you can use these stats, you're going to be way better off. And if you're max entering, your chances are again through the roof. So with that being said, I do want to wrap up this video. We will be live tomorrow. We'll give away our prop. We're on a 4-0 run right now as of late. So we will give away our prop tomorrow. And we'll be back with tomorrow's video to talk about Sunday's lineup and any changes or any news that we've heard about Thursday's lineup. We'll continue to put in. I still have 40 lineups to do, so a lot of work to be done, but it will get done. And as always, stay healthy. Thanks for tuning in. And if you can, try to tune in tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.